My name is Jean Lawson, and I am the Study Abroad Travel Course and Internship Manager here at Chapman. And I'm going to be talking to you about travel courses and international internships today. Real quickly, how many of you here, raise your hand, sign of hand, are from California? Okay, how many, the majority of the group. How many of you are from California? Okay, and are any of you lucky visitors from outside of the United States? Okay, all right. Well, there haven't been a sign of hands, but as you well know, the students are really eager to travel, period. They've probably been nagging at your shirt straps or your coattails to travel. That's what we do best. In the Center for Global Education, we bring opportunities for the students. Okay, our mission statement is to help them do that, to learn ways to travel. We believe that travel helps them not only educationally, but it gives them a real experience for socialization and culturalization. So we take that very seriously, and we spend a lot of time bringing those opportunities to the students. Again, internationally and domestically. How do we do that? As you well know, Chapman believes in personalized attention. So we have a lot of opportunities to meet with the students. We encourage them to do it in our office, or we do go to classrooms and let them know about the opportunities that are available. We work with them with the financial aid, working out financial aid, helping them work out program costs and tuitions. We assist them with the paperwork. We prepare pre-departure orientations that address their questions and their concerns. And then we also maintain communication with them before the program, before their abroad program, whether it be domestic or international, while they're gone, and then when they return. FERPA. Have any of you heard of FERPA? Okay, FERPA is really, really important. What it means is that it's a privacy act, and we are not able to talk to you. We can't answer any of your questions unless your student has provided our office with their consent. Okay, if they have filled out a FERPA form for the business office or the financial aid office, that's wonderful. But we in the Center for Global Education have to have our own FERPA form, and that is filled out by your student, allowing us to have access to their records or giving you answers to your questions, whether it be regarding did they turn in their payment, did they pay the balance, is all their paperwork turned in. We can't answer that unless we have a FERPA form. So if you want to be part of that, then please encourage your student to make sure that they provide our office with a FERPA form. The little disclaimer is if they've done it, they may say, oh, I've already done it, but ask them specifically if they've turned it into the Center for Global Education office, because we do have to have that on file before we can't even say, yeah, your student has signed up for the London program. The first thing that we're expected to do is look to see if there's a FERPA file or a FERPA form on file. So please, just understand that we need to follow the Privacy Act rules. International internships. The Career Center just talked about domestic internships. We all know how valuable and important they are. We, in the Center for Global Education, we have the ability to bring your student, bring international internships into their experience as well. Take students around the world. It offers them an opportunity to experience the social and the business sense of that country. And then, especially in the summertime, there's standalone programs for international internships. And that's what is going to be taking part already this summer, but if your student is interested in an international internship for summer, they need to plan ahead. So early fall, we're going to be working with students that are interested in international internships for 2013. Some of the locations that are now part of the Center for Global Education program is Shanghai and Dublin. They're new this year. And returning programs were London, New Zealand, Australia, and Madrid. The internship programs run about 8 to 10 weeks, and they are credit-based. There is an application requirement, and some of you had asked about summer tuition. Yes, summer tuition is part of, it's a separate aspect of an international internship, but there are summer tuition waivers that apply with some restrictions. So if your student is interested in either a travel course or an international internship, have them look at the restrictions and the criteria for a summer tuition waiver. It's a one-time opportunity. There's phases to international internships. The first phase is an application process. They turn in, we meet with them, we look at their resumes, they have to fill out an application for a certain internship provider. They determine where their location of interest, that they want to pursue. And then we see if it's a good match with them. If somebody wants to go to London and they're, it's not offering the kind of things that they're interested in as far as their major, then we work with them to bring to them the different opportunities that are available. Phase 2, acceptance. They have to be accepted into the program. They have to be accepted by our department. The restrictions, they have to have a 3.0 GPA. So encourage your student, to take a look at that. We submit their names to the Dean of Students for clearance. All their paperwork has to be turned in, and then they have an interview with the program, with the international program of the area, their destination that they're interested in. The third phase is pre-departure. We make sure that all the paperwork is submitted, that everything is in place. The program provider of the international internship gives the student country handbooks, helps them get ready for the country that they're going to, and then they're enrolled through our office with the registrar's office for that individual program. Their experience abroad. They're going to be living, in a different area for 6 to 8 weeks, 9 weeks sometimes. It's kind of scary. They're going with other people that they don't know, So there is a program staff on site that goes through a familiarization process with them, shows them where they're housing, helps them get a feel for the lay of the land. Their internships are usually 4 days a week, 7 hours a day, so they're busy. They're not just sightseeing, they're actually working. They're credit-based internships, so they do have to do academic assignments. And culture shocks, some of them don't really know how to articulate what culture shock is, and we let them know it's normal, and it's basically a disorientation. I mean, walking off a plane and not seeing anybody that is familiar to you. Maybe you're driving on the other side of the road. They're not speaking the same language. All that is normal, and it can affect each of your students in a different way. And we try and talk to them about that before they go. And coming home, they've been gone for a couple of months. They're used to doing something how they were for the last 2 months, and sometimes it's a shock to them. Their friends, they haven't been around their friends for the last couple of months. So that in itself is another culture shock for coming back to Chapman or Orange or wherever they are. If it's in the summertime, maybe they're going back to home, to live with mom and dad or grandparents or whatever. So just preparing them for some feelings that they may be experiencing is part of what we what we want to do. They do get a grade. It's pass, no pass for their internships. And travel courses. Travel courses are also done through the Center for Global Education. They are faculty-led. Chapman faculty professors lead the group. They take anywhere from 10 to more participants, and they take them, travel courses are both domestic and international. Travel courses are offered during the summer and during interterm. There is no GPA requirement, but the faculty person does have to authorize their participation into the group. So oftentimes the student has a conversation with a professor who's group leader for that group, and then they have a conversation. You know, maybe the professor doesn't think that they're mature enough to go, or they don't have the ability to go. There was a travel course that went to Death Valley. There was, you know, they were doing hiking. It was not an easy endeavor, so the participating students had to do an additional preliminary climb to make sure to prove to the professor that they were capable of going. So first and foremost, we want to make sure that the students are safe and that they are ready for their experience and that they have fun too. The travel courses are 1 to 4 weeks in length, and oftentimes they meet before they depart for wherever, domestic or international. They have an on-site, on-campus classroom experience, and then when they return, they have classroom time as well. It does satisfy part of the global study GE requirements. And students, like I mentioned earlier about the international internships, they are entitled to a one-time summer tuition waiver. So if they're interested in participating in travel courses for summer, have them check into that. One time they can use that while they're at Chapman. And just to clarify, the travel courses has its own participation fee, and then there's the tuition fee. So there are two sets of fees that correlate to a travel course or an international internship. The role of faculty. Well, they take the group, and they're the ones that decide what they're going to learn and what they're going to do. They also market the course, and they do informational sessions for the students, and then oftentimes some of them have their own pre-departure orientation session. The Center for Global Education holds an information session as well. But sometimes the faculty like to do that because it gets the group together, and the students get to see before they go who they're going to go with. They kind of form a bond. You know, it's their little group before they leave. So it's really a great experience for them. The students, like I said, the faculty, it's up to them to determine if the student is ready for that. They give them the enrollment form. And then we all work together. The faculty, sometimes we use outside providers to help facilitate the trips, and then us. I'm kind of the liaison on campus with all the different departments, the financial aid, the business office, the registrar's office, the dean of students. So we all work together to make sure that the group is ready to go. Travel courses. Like I mentioned, we have summer and interterm travel courses. We're now in the process of collecting participants for summer. There is a non-refundable deposit that's due in March, and then a final payment in May. For interterm, interterm is January, usually the month of January. And we usually have different courses that travel in interterm versus summertime. So if your student isn't really excited about a summer travel course, have them look at the interterm list, because the different instructors have different availabilities. And then the participation fees really depend on where they're going, the number of students that are involved, and how long the trip is going to be. This is where some of the summer courses are going this summer. it's exciting. And I think, wow, these students get to go. I want to go. So anyways, these are just some of the destinations, and it's so exciting because when you look at all the hard work that the faculty go through to present these opportunities for our students, they take it very seriously, and they do a lot of really cool things. To be able to go to Rome and bring the textbook alive into the surroundings, that's something that your students are going to remember a lifetime. Something new this year is trip cancellation insurance. It's an option for the students. It's not a requirement, but it's a fabulous opportunity. You and your student go to this website, and they put in their information, who they are, probably the age, where the destination, the length of time that they're going to be gone. And this company presents them with a proposal. So it's something that they can recoup the expenditure or the expenses of the travel course, because once your student fills out the form and puts their non-refundable money down, we start spending those funds because we have to secure airfare in some cases, hotels, tickets, London theater shows, whatever. So once your student signs up for that, it's a commitment, it's a contract. So this is new this year, and I don't know how much it would be, but I encourage you to just go to the website, have your student put in some numbers and see what it spits out. I think our risk manager said something, like maybe $100, $150, I don't know. But it's worth the time to check into it. And that's it. We are the Center for Global Education, and we look forward to meeting each one of you and your students. And if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them or try.
On the international internships, 2 questions. On average, how many students from Chapman go? And it doesn't vary by location. And then the second part, are there other university students there?
Yes, there are other students. Our Chapman University students, depending on the location, go, and they are joined by other university students. And the number of students, hundreds, yeah. It's very, very popular. Any other questions? Go ahead.
What is the enrollment deadline for this summer internship? Has that passed?
We will, in the early fall, we'll start the initial process for internships for 2013. So it's usually 9 months, almost a year ahead of time before the international internship participants actually go. Go ahead.
What were the opportunities in this past interterm?
Travel course opportunities, there were 10 of them. Let's see, they went to London, they went to Silicon Valley, they went to Rome, they went to New York, where else?
My daughter went to New Zealand.
To New Zealand, that would have been an internship? Yeah, okay, I think, a travel course with the film school? Okay, that's a good point. The film school has their own travel course process, so the film school travel courses are separate from ours, but we still have the same rules and guidelines. So if your daughter had a travel course through the film school, that's why I didn't mention it.
Can you give us an idea of the range of expenses that you would incur on this, other than tuition or the student waiver? I mean, what the real dollar figure?
They differ. Usually the range, well, like for Silicon Valley in January, that's a domestic course. It was maybe, it was less than 2 weeks, and I think the participation cost was around $1,500. London travel course during January, they went and saw 10 shows. They were gone almost 3 weeks, and I think it was about $5,500. So normally, I would say the range is between $1,500 for a travel course and $5,000, $5,500, depending upon, like I said, the destination, the number of participants, and how long they're gone.
If a student is interested in doing one of the travel courses that you listed, would they go on to your website, the Global Ed at Chapman?
Absolutely. All on the Center for Global Education website, we have an online portion, it's called the Global Gateway, that is the collection of all the forms, and it's where all the programs are listed. So on our CGE website, which we're in the process of redoing, as is Chapman University as a whole, we're in the process of revamping the entire university website. We not alone. I mean, the Center for Global Education is doing our particular website. But anyways, if your student goes to the Center for Global Education website, you will see, they will see, for travel courses or international programs or internship programs, go to the Global Gateway. And on the Global Gateway is a list. They can search many different ways, by location, by travel course, by interest. And then on that is all the specifics, you know, like for each travel course, the itinerary, the syllabus, and the fees are all listed. And you know, what's really exciting, and I'm sorry to be so general, but there are so many opportunities for your children that it's just too much. You know, each program has its own costs and has its own restrictions and requirements. So really, if your student is interested in travel courses, the good thing is they can, like, students right now could participate in a summer travel course. They can't do an international internship for this summer. They can next summer. So if your student is planning, you know, we're sophomore parents, right? So if they're thinking, this is really something that I want to do an international internship, now's the time to start having that conversation with your student and with our office, because it is going to depend on their coursework, and hopefully they all have 3.0 GPAs, and that they're able to articulate what area of interest or what they want to do.
I want to maybe break up because we have to
Okay.
start another session at 10:45. So if you have
Okay.
individual questions, maybe you can talk with Jean. And
That would
then
be great.
Get a little 5-minute break and then back in here.
Okay. Thank you. Enjoy your time today.